The universe has always been a canvas of mysteries, painted with stars, galaxies, and the infinite unknown. For decades, humanity has sent probes into the void, hoping to glimpse what lies beyond our reach. Among them, the Pioneer 10 spacecraft, launched by NASA in 1972, stands as a silent sentinel, carrying a message of our existence to the stars. Designed to explore Jupiter and then drift into the interstellar abyss, it was a modest machine with a grand purpose: to tell the cosmos who we are. Now, over half a century later, Pioneer 10 has sent back something that has turned the scientific world upside down and left humanity staring into the face of the unknown. Pioneer 10 was never meant to be more than a messenger. Its mission was simple: study Jupiter, send back data, and then fade into the cosmic background, carrying a gold anodized plaque etched with symbols of Earth, humanity, and our place in the universe. By 2003, its signals had grown faint, its power dwindling as it ventured over 7 billion miles from home. Scientists assumed it would drift forever, a relic of human ambition, lost to the silence of space. But recently, something extraordinary happened. A faint, erratic signal flickered across the antennas of NASA's Deep Space Network, a signal that bore the unmistakable signature of Pioneer 10. What it carried was no ordinary transmission. It was a message, and it wasn't ours. At first, that signal seemed like noise, a glitch in the aging probe's systems. Engineers at NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory dismissed it as a possible malfunction, perhaps cosmic radiation scrambling the probe's dying circuits. But the signal persisted, growing stronger and more coherent over days. It wasn't random. It had structure patterns that defied the chaos of natural phenomena. Artificial intelligence systems, tasked with sifting through deep space telemetry, flagged the transmission for its unusual complexity. The data wasn't just a string of binary pulses. It contained layers of modulation, error correction, and recursive sequences that suggested intent. This was no accident. Something, or someone, had sent it. When the signal was fully decoded, it revealed something that sent a shiver through the scientific community. It wasn't an image in the traditional sense, but a data constructor, three-dimensional holographic model encoded in a way that human computers could interpret. When rendered, it showed a structure floating in the void, a vast crystalline lattice of interlocking geometric shapes, glowing faintly against the pitch-black backdrop of interstellar space. The structure pulsed rhythmically, its light shifting across frequencies that matched no known stellar or cosmic source. It was artificial, unmistakably so, with a symmetry and precision that nature rarely achieves. The model included metadata coordinates, timestamps, and a sequence of mathematical constants that mirrored universal principles like pi and the Fibonacci sequence. This wasn't just a picture, it was a message, and it seemed to know exactly who it was addressing. Dr. Elena Voss, a leading astrophysicist at MIT, was among the first to analyze the signal. She described it as a mathematical symphony, a transmission so deliberate it could only come from a mind, or minds, capable of understanding Pioneer 10's primitive technology. The signal's structure suggested it was a reply, possibly triggered by the probe's plaque, which contains a map of Earth's location, a depiction of humans, and a diagram of our solar system. Voss noted that the transmission included echoes of the plaque's own binary patterns, as if whatever sent the signal had studied it, understood it, and chosen to respond in kind. This discovery shattered decades of assumptions about the loneliness of the cosmos. Pioneer 10, a machine from the analog era, had become humanity's first envoy in a conversation we never expected to have. The implications were staggering. Pioneer 10 had long since left the heliosphere, the bubble of solar influence, and was drifting through interstellar space. Its faint radio signals, powered by decaying plutonium, were never designed to be intercepted by anything but Earth's receivers. For something to detect and respond to such a weak transmission required either technology far beyond our own or proximity far closer than anyone dared to imagine. The coordinates embedded in the signal pointed to a region of space near the edge of the Oort cloud, a distant shell of comets surrounding our solar system. This region had been studied before, but only as a theoretical boundary. Now it seemed to hold something more, a presence. As scientists dug deeper, they found the signal contained a second layer of data, a map not of stars or planets but of gravitational anomalies detected in the outer reaches of the solar system. These anomalies, once dismissed as quirks of orbital mechanics, now formed a pattern that suggested a network of structures or beacons. The map aligned with faint distortions observed by the Gaia Space Telescope, which had previously been attributed to dark matter or measurement errors. Now those distortions looked like markers, perhaps part of a galactic infrastructure. The idea was both thrilling and terrifying. Pioneer 10 might have stumbled into a cosmic neighborhood we didn't know existed. The scientific community erupted in debate. Skeptics argued that natural phenomena, like a pulsar or magnetic field interference, could mimic the signal's complexity. But the AI systems analyzing the data were unequivocal. The signal's mathematical purity, with its recursive patterns and universal constants, was too precise to be random. It carried the hallmarks of intelligent design. Some researchers proposed that the signal could be a reflection of Pioneer's own transmission, bounced back by an unknown cosmic phenomenon. But this theory crumbled when the signal's metadata revealed a timestamp that predated Pioneer's launch, suggesting it had been waiting, dormant, until the probe passed through its range. The discovery sparked a global conversation that transcended science. Philosophers questioned what it meant to encounter a mind so alien it could communicate through a 50-year-old probe. Theologians debated whether this was evidence of a divine plan or a challenge to humanity's uniqueness. Governments convened urgent meetings, with the United Nations Office for Outer Space Affairs forming a task force of astrophysicists, linguists, and cryptographers to decode the signal further. The task force faced a daunting question. Was this a one-way message, or an invitation to respond? And if we responded, who would speak for Earth? The signal's complexity grew clearer with each analysis. It contained a rhythmic pulse, a sequence of numbers that mirrored prime numbers, the golden ratio, and the atomic structure of hydrogen, a universal language embedded in the fabric of reality. Researchers speculated that this was a primer, a teaching tool designed to build a bridge of understanding. The pulse wasn't just data, it was a lesson, structured to guide its recipient toward deciphering more complex information. Some compared it to the way humans teach children basic math before introducing algebra. Whatever sent this signal seemed to understand that communication across species, or even civilizations, required a shared foundation. Public reaction was a mix of awe, fear, and fascination. Social media platforms buzzed with theories, from the plausible to the outlandish. Some saw the signal as proof of ancient aliens visiting our solar system, leaving behind a beacon for us to find. Others feared it was a warning, a sign that we'd trespassed into forbidden territory. Documentaries flooded streaming platforms, tracing Pioneer 10's journey and speculating about its mysterious correspondent. News outlets ran round-the-clock coverage, with experts weighing in on the signal's implications. Religious leaders interpreted the event through their own lenses, some as a miracle, others as a test of faith. Meanwhile, skeptics urged caution, warning against anthropomorphizing a signal that might still have a natural explanation. Dr. Voss, speaking at a global symposium, framed the discovery as a turning point. We've spent centuries assuming we're alone, that the universe is a silent expanse waiting for us to fill it, she said. This signal forces us to reconsider everything: our place, our purpose, our readiness. She pointed out that the signal's use of Earth's binary systems and cosmic constants suggested an intelligence that had either studied us or shared a common framework for understanding the universe. The echo of Pioneer's plaque in the signal was particularly haunting, as if the sender had not only received our message but absorbed it, analyzed it, and crafted a response tailored to our comprehension. Further analysis revealed something even more unsettling. The signal contained fragments of data that mimicked human communication protocols, including error-checking mechanisms used in 1970s NASA transmissions. This implied the sender had either intercepted and decoded our signals long before Pioneer reached them, or possessed an uncanny ability to reverse-engineer our technology. The signal also included a faint modulation that matched Earth's rotational period, as if acknowledging our planet's rhythms. It was a gesture that felt almost personal, a nod across the light